friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julie. We are a family of 7, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a week of lunches for our family. This is going to show what my kids are eating for a full week. Depending on the day, depending on the meal, I may eat what they eat, but often I do eat something different. So this is just showing what my kids are eating for a week of lunches. Starting with Monday, a finger food lunch is one of our favorites. It looks different every time depending what I have in the fridge or in the pantry, but it always consists of some sort of cracker. So today we have some of these President's Choice crackers, we have Ritz crackers, and we also have Goldfish. It also includes some sort of nut, and so today we have almonds, and then of course we have ham, cheese, and some cucumber slices. So I just serve up my kids' plates for this meal, and on their first helping, they just have a little bit of everything. I know some kids like some things better than others, and so if they come back for seconds, they're definitely gonna pick something different. They won't have all of the variety that I give them on their first helping. On Tuesday, we had sandwiches, so I took out some of these ciabatta buns. I put mayonnaise and mustard on them. All of my kids like having mustard on their sandwiches, which makes it so simple, so I just put the same thing on everybody's. I put some more of this ham on their sandwiches. So this ham is just one I bought from the grocery store. It was just a full boneless ham, and I just chopped it up really thin, sliced it up really thin, I should say, to be good for sandwiches. So we had the rest of the ham on these sandwiches today. I put some cheese on them, some tomato slices. I was going to do lettuce, but I realized I had less lettuce left than I thought I did. So instead of that, I just sliced up some cucumbers for a veggie on the side. Once the sandwiches were assembled, I sliced them all in half just to make it easier for little hands and also for my younger ones where a whole sandwich would be too much for them. For Wednesday's lunch, I got everybody's bowls together. I chopped up some bananas, some apples, as well as some strawberries into everybody's bowls. I'm trying to keep everybody's bowls not too full because it's so easy to overdo it as I make this meal and then it's too much for everybody. But I put all that fruit together, and then I got out some of this plain yogurt I get from Costco, put some onto most kids' fruit. One of mine didn't want yogurt today, so that bowl doesn't have any yogurt. And then I topped it with some homemade granola. So this is one of my favorite recipes to make. I almost always have this granola on hand. It's just so yummy. So it's made of some oats, coconut, almonds, maple syrup, coconut oil, some cinnamon, some vanilla, and that's baked in the oven. And like I said, I almost always have this on hand. So I sprinkled that on top of the yogurt, and then I also sprinkled a few raisins on top of the granola, and that is our fruit yogurt granola bowls. On Thursday, we did sandwiches again. I make this favorite of ours again. I'm showing you a few favorites this week. I do like to serve meals that my kids love, but I make this peanut butter mix. So I actually have this jar of peanut butter. I got it actually as a Walmart substitute. They gave me this jar instead of the crunchy peanut butter I would usually order. It is peanut butter with chia seeds and coconut. Now I thought, okay, that's a fine substitute. Later on, I realized, actually as I made this meal, I looked at the ingredients on the back, I realized that this peanut butter also has cane sugar in it. So I would not buy it again because I don't think our peanut butter needs to be sweetened, but that's the peanut butter I'm using for our mix. I added a bit of butter, some honey, chocolate chips, and raisins, and mixed that all together, and that is our peanut butter mix spread. I made a good amount here, and this peanut butter mix is totally fine to have for leftovers. It's actually really, really good spread on graham crackers. But today I am just putting it on this whole wheat bread. I just made up a bunch of sandwiches and put them on a plate. I didn't serve up individual portions here. I never know how much my kids are gonna eat of this because they really enjoy it, but some days they eat only a little bit, some days they eat a lot. So I just left it for them to grab their own. And then I also chopped up some apples, made up some apple slices for fruit on the side. For Friday, we are having leftovers. We had a lot of different leftovers in our fridge from dinners this week. So here I have some of this sourdough skillet. It's some sourdough that I put on top of black beans and ground beef. I also have some leftover macaroni and cheese, some peas, a random French toast bagel, as well as one leftover sandwich from the other day. I like when I have stored these dishes, these leftovers, into glass containers, because then it's just super easy for me to stick them in the oven and they will warm up in that same container that I stored them in. The tricky thing in our house is when we have just a few different leftovers for a meal, and the kids having their ideas of what leftover they would want, and trying not to fight over these leftovers that we have. But there's a good bit of macaroni here, so I'm going to give each of the kids a bowl of macaroni, and I think that they will all be happy with that. For Saturday's lunch, we're just making some easy grilled cheese. So I got out some whole wheat bread. I had to take out a second loaf out of the freezer. I usually like to plan ahead and have a loaf out before it's actually time to eat lunch, but I forgot, so I got a loaf out of the freezer. I buttered the bread. I sliced some cheese, just like you do when you make grilled cheese. I do like to put a good amount of cheese on each sandwich. I am not skimpy. I want the whole piece of bread covered from side to side with cheese, making a really nice cheesy sandwich. As my grilled cheese is grilling, I'm going to slice up some raw veggies. So I have carrots here, I have cucumbers. We regularly have veggies with our lunches almost every day, unless it's like cinnamon raisin bagels or pancakes or something like you saw earlier this week. We sometimes do have fruit, depending what kind of goes better, but we do have veggies with our lunches on the regular. Unfortunately, I feel like this happens often, but I slightly burned a couple of pieces of grilled cheese. Nobody complained, but for some reason I often overcook that first side when I start making grilled cheese. I'm gonna slice them all up. I slice them diagonally. Let me know how you guys slice your sandwiches. I learned something about myself actually as I filmed this video, because I always slice grilled cheese diagonally. That's just what I do. But as you noticed earlier this week, when we had a different kind of sandwich, I sliced it vertically. Why that is, I have no idea, but grilled cheese I always slice diagonally. I'm curious to hear how you guys prefer to slice your sandwiches. So that was our week of lunches. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know what your kids' favorite lunch would be of what I made this week. It's hard for me to say which one was our kids' favorite. Probably, oh, I don't know. Grilled cheese goes over so well. Peanut butter mix goes over so well. The fruit yogurt mix, that is probably where my kids had the most seconds. I think almost all of my kids had a second helping with that meal. So apparently those are a few good favorites I showed you this week. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from our large family, and I'll see you soon.